What was it? The hunt? The blood? Or the horrible dream? Oh, it doesn't matter. Tonight, Gammon joins the hunt.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to my Metro 2033 walkthrough. In this video we're going through these tunnels, and to be fair, it's quite an easy level if you know what you're doing. There's really not much to it since it is just there is no mutants in here, it's just human beings, and you know how easy human beings go down. Now what's important here is do not pick up the weapon he's giving you now. I found that it's ineffective against most enemies in the game. The AK serves that purpose very well. But in this video I do want to talk about the upcoming Dark Souls remaster, because I believed I was going to cover it. Now, I think it is £30 here, or $40. And so far I know that the people who own the original, which I do, are getting a discount of 50% off. So maybe it'll be like £20 or £15. Now, the only reason I'm going to be buying the game is to make a walkthrough on it. I actually really want to go back to Dark Souls and play it again. My only real problem is that it's not really an upgrade as such. It's a more of a it's a basically upscaling everything, so that the graphics are slightly better on the next gen consoles. But oddly enough, they've left a lot of the bugs in the game. Like a lot of the clipping, the chain backstabs for PvP are still in. So as a remaster, I don't really know if it's fair to even call it a remaster. Maybe it's just a port. And it's a really poor port at that. I would advise that if you don't own the original, not to buy this version on the PC anyway. I can understand why people might buy it in the PS4 and Xbox One, but I just don't know why. If you have a PC, you'd ever buy this version. Well, I kind of do actually, because they've actually removed the Prepare to Die edition from Steam, which I disagree with so much. There's just no excuse for it. I think they could do the thing with Skyrim, where Skyrim basically gave it for free, and you can't really argue with free things unless you're just handing you something free. I don't know how I feel about this at all. If I'm honest, I don't really get why they would release the remaster in support condition. It is extremely disappointing to see that the game I loved didn't get any changes at all. In fact, it actually got, in my opinion, worse. I don't know why they wouldn't attempt to fix certain issues, such as the chain backstabbing, because it ruins PvP. If a new person comes along and they don't know how to get out of chain backstabs, it's gonna fucking ruin their experience. And there is ways to get out of it, but with all that, this is mostly for new players. It isn't really for veterans of the series, because it is literally just the same game. Now, they did fix tumble buffing, and they fixed infinite item duping. However, they kept perfect frame item duping, but perfect frame item duping is insanely hard to do, so it's not really worth it. And if you don't do it right, you lose the item anyway, so it's not worth doing at all. Now, there's a few other changes I want to go over. However, in this video here, I just want to go over something quickly. The stealth I'm doing is aggressive. It is extremely, either a live or die approach. I'll try and bait people out by letting them see me, and then basically he'll walk out, hit him with a knife, he'll go down and die. Really, this walkthrough is just, if you follow what I'm doing on screen, you should be absolutely fine. I feel like I've said a lot, but it doesn't get any less true. If you follow what I do, you'll be just fine through the entire walkthrough. Now, I've had a few audio issues as of recently, where the audio will just cut out after I handbrake the footage to 60 FPS, just to make it look nice. But apart from that, it's been, Space Marine just kind of went down the plunger because of that. I tried to fix it, and I hope it's fixed now. I'll start to have to re-record everything and, hope it's working. Because you can hear now, there's no audio in the background for some reason. So it's just my voice. But I like people hearing the game, because it's something else to listen to apart from me talking. But I suppose if you're into the type of thing where, you stick it on and you listen, not really playing the game, because I do that all the time with my favorite YouTubers. I don't even watch the game sometimes, I just Stick it on in the background. Good background noise. Anyway. So yeah, the Dark Souls remaster is looking extremely disappointing. But I probably will still make a guide on it. Because it is just Dark Souls. And it'll be relevant again. Or if you want to be really cheeky, you can download DAS Fix and make a walkthrough on that. Just make a walkthrough with the base game. With the standard version. Because it really doesn't look that different in many areas. And since they're not changing much... Well, they aren't changing anything. I'm wondering if there's any need for a walkthrough of a game like that, since it is such an old game. And I mean, like, if anyone actually watches these videos, because Metro is not my most popular series, unfortunately. It's actually very not that great at all. But I do it because I want to actually complete the walkthrough. And I actually do enjoy the game quite a bit still. I've recorded another part and another part after that. I'm just waiting to get to the library, which I have discussed in my previous video. But Dark Souls really hasn't been all that great for me. I'm very disappointed. Because the PvP in Dark Souls, I'm going to be honest, even though Dark Souls 2 is the worst PvE Souls game there is, I think the PvP was probably the best. But barely. And a lot of people have fond memories of the PvP in Dark Souls 2. I don't. Because I was around for the Santier Spear meta where all you did was get, one rotate. Basically, you got clicked R1 a few times and he killed you instantly and he stun locked you. There was certainly broken things in Dark Souls 2. There was a lot of broken stuff. In fact, there was more broken things than anyone else. But that amount of broken things can only come around with so much variety. Dark Souls 2 PvP had the most variety out of all the games, including Demon Souls and Bloodborne. Bloodborne's PvP was probably the worst of the most. It always just involved people dashing and shooting constantly. The healing was out of control because it gave everyone 20 blood vials. It was kind of crap. I haven't played Demon Souls version. Dark Souls 1, honestly, the clunkiness of it. There's people saying they enjoy the clunkiness of the combat just for that type of old Dark Souls feeling. I hate it. I really hate it. I don't like it at all. I think an update would have made the game so much better. The omnidirectional movement, there's still phantom hits. Well, actually no. Well, it was tested on a stream yesterday, and I don't believe phantom hits are still a thing. Phantom kicks as well, alright. Even though I've never really heard of that one. But backstab chains are still in, where you can get chain backstabbed because you can. It triggers for some reason when you roll away, which most people do. And even though it's dedicated servers, they were doing a test server yesterday, and I think the stream on it. It seemed almost laggy. Where people were getting backstabbed from halfway across the room sometimes. It's just odd to me. So going back for like PvP isn't going to really be a thing, because that's all you had back then was bad PvP. It was never actually good. Dark Souls 3's PvP was just... I feel like if Dark Souls 3 had more build variety and stuff, it would have been a lot better. But the problem was, the best way in that game, D9, was a fast swinging weapon. Put Dark Moonblade on it and do a quality build. And that was probably the most damage you could get out of anything. It was the most viable build you could make. Great swords were good, long swords were good. Dark Souls 3 just was very boring, very vanilla. It's PvP. Magic in PvP was tragically bad in Dark Souls 3. In Dark Souls 1 it wasn't as bad. But there is overpowered spells such as Pursuers and Darkbait. If they haven't fixed Darkbait and Pursuers in the fucking remaster, which I know for a fact they haven't, and it makes me cry, it's gonna be cancer. But even then, what videos can you really make on the Dark Souls remaster? And a lot of the funny people who enjoy, memes and stuff like that, and mostly post Dark Souls meme content, is there really any point to go back to the game? Because it's the exact same game. And I sat and watched that 3 hour stream yesterday and I was already bored. And I was going to make stuff of the network test, but when the network test came time to download, I just didn't have an interest. It was sitting there for about 3 days. You had to download it within 3 days to play it. I just had no interest. For example, they only allowed one class to invade in that game. Basically, you have to pick a class at the start because they only let you have the class and very certain amount of weapons. But even the area they gave you to explore was the Undead Parish, and the Undead Parish is extremely small. Now they let you fight the gargoyles, but the gargoyles aren't that interesting to fight. Why didn't the lad table go through the burg? The Undead Burg would have been amazing to go through. Start us off at that bonfire and let's go all the way up to the tourist demon. And maybe to the bridge of the Undead Parish. Now, don't let us go to the depths or anything, but, let us get far enough. Really disappointed, though, because people would have found a way to break the game, I suppose. Because there is a glitch where you can glitch into the Undead Parish from the Undead Burg. It's not the Undead Parish, the depths. Lower Burg, whatever you want to call it. I did it myself, because going through the way to get the key was very irritating. I just glitched it because it gave you so much power early. If you defeat the Capra Demon early as I like to do it, it does give you a lot of power. And I sure might do videos overpowered early or something like that, because the Black Knight Halberd in that game is ridiculous early on, and there's already a video that is 10 minutes and it shows you how to get the halberd. And if you stick with that halberd the entire game, you'll do fine. And the halberd is one of the best weapons in the game. So is the great axe. The great axe is amazing as well, and there's a really easy way to acquire that as well. It isn't as easy to get as the halberd, but you don't even have to fight if you do it right. So I might do videos like that, how to get really quickly overpowered, but I believe there's already videos doing that. So me doing that is gonna be kind of pointless. So they haven't fixed much. There's no dark hand for some reason in the beta test. Everyone's kind of bored of it already, and they're charging 30 quid for it, for the least amount of effort they can make, because they've got moving foliage and fucking better shadows in some places. In some places it looks better, and in some places it looks exactly the same. So, and they're charging 30 quid. Now, in the very first video of this series, funnily enough, I bitched about Skyrim's remaster, or remake, or special edition, or whatever you want to call it. And looking back on it, Skyrim was not that bad of a one. It ported the next gen consoles and gave it mod support, which I don't agree mod support was a good thing at all. No, actually no. I'll put that in a different light. I don't think Bethesda should have re-released Skyrim on the next gen consoles and basically just added mod support, and then said to give us money, because I don't agree with that, because then it's just saying the mod makers don't make the game for us. I don't like that mentality, but compared to the Dark Souls remaster from FromSoft, it's a fucking godsend. The ES fix for the original Prepared Edition gives you actually mod support for a lot of funny remixes, while as the new edition, I don't know if it will. Now, there was stuff that DS fix couldn't do, which was cap the frame rate at 60 FPS, because even with DS fix, things kind of got a bit broken. Like geometry would fuck up, clipping would be really bad in some things. 60 FPS was not a good way to run the game, and unfortunately you had to always kind of stick to 30 FPS unless you really, really wanted to break the game in some areas. Burg ran fine though. Blighttown still ran fine on PC. My PC had no problem on Blighttown. I actually managed to experience Blighttown at 30 FPS, which isn't good, but at least it didn't break down to 2 FPS. Because that original port for Dark Souls 1 was horrendous. DS fixed so much. So for 30 quid if you're on consoles, it's basically, for 30 quid you're paying for DS fix, but and more ganks essentially. Because for some reason, Red Eye invasions, if you invade, it still prioritizes fucking people with summons, which I don't know why. And all they did was add more co-op players. Like, why? Dark Souls 1 is not a game you need more co-op players for. It really seems that they're trying. I don't like to put it like this, but they're trying to make Dark Souls more accessible. And I don't get me wrong, I like the fact that more people want to play Dark Souls. That's great. But I don't think the way to make things accessible is to make them easier. And all you're doing by doing that is making people have, forced to, not force them to get good at the game. Because Dark Souls 3, you can fucking summon 4 phantoms and run through that game. Dark Souls 3 is not a hard game to get through. I think 2 is a bit weirder. But I think Dark Souls 1 is the most intimidating from the start. Dark Souls 1 is the most intimidating. Because even Firelink has this really dark atmosphere to it. Firelink Shrine is lovely. in comparison. I think Firelink Shrine is a really nice area, but sorry, I'm getting confused. Manjula, that's it. Manjula is a place in Dark Souls 2, basically the Firelink Shrine of Dark Souls 2. And if I had to rate it, I think Firelink Shrine is 10 times better than Majula. Because I think Majula was nice and all, you know, it was very bright and stuff. But it didn't draw me as much. Now, Dark Souls 3 had the hub area. I honestly forget a lot about Dark Souls 3 at this stage. No, like, the Ashen, I don't know. Its hub area was very forgettable. Dark Souls 3's hub area, I don't think is in the least bit memorable. I think the music's nice, and I think some of the NPCs are interesting, but Dark Souls 3 is pretty weak. It's a pretty weak entry, if I'm honest. I still think it's a great game. I still think it deserves that place my Game of the Year's list. But it's certainly, you know, certain things Dark Souls 2 did better, and certain things Dark Souls 3 did better. The problem was that Dark Souls 3 kind of ignored all the improvements 2 made. Which is such a shame. Because it really could have been such an amazing game. And unfortunately, they didn't do much with 3, they kind of kept it the exact same. And I only realised this video has just been about Dark Souls, which, if you like Dark Souls, great, but if you don't, I will. I'll definitely have more things to talk about though. But Dark Souls should be on the 25th, and you will probably be seeing a day one upload from my channel on it. Unfortunately. Unless school gets in the way. Then, you know, I definitely won't be sacrificing Dark Souls 1 for school, like. I really want to do more, and I'll definitely consider doing more stuff on the channel. More discuss stuff. Anyway, it's been... The next chapter, we should see enough soon. We should see the next chapter soon. Hey guys, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care now.